Flipping, living here in Nashville, Tennessee, and my topic today will be about we don't have to be friends to win. Oh, I know your mind is buzzing. I know you're not understanding or what that's going to be like. And how come we can't be friends? We have to be friends to win, but not necessarily. We don't have to be friends to win. Now, here's the story. Many of us can recall our elementary school day when it was time for recess. Recess typically lasted about 30 minutes to an hour, and everyone either went outside to the playground or to the gym for physical activity. Now, during those activities, which were not my personal favorite, you would either play kickball, dodgeball, basketball, tag, or any number of exercises to help build strong bodies, strong teams, and of course, to have fun. Well, what we also remember is the stress, let down, and the embarrassment of either being chosen last or chosen by default. Can I just get a show of hands? I really can't see everything, but I'm one of those people. It was stressful not to be chosen to be on a team, especially when I really didn't want to be out there getting hot and sweaty, whether it was in the summer or the winter. I just did not want to be outside doing anything. But what I do remember from those times is that people who were the captains chose friendship over skill, and the results did not always wind up in victory. Oh, I can hear what you're thinking. That was long ago, and we were kids. But we are creatures of habit, and things we did then we carry over to our adult lives, and they manifest in our personal and our business relationships, thereby leading to the same results: failure, or not quite accomplishing what you set out to do. And whether it's personal or business, we must come to one resolve. We don't have to be friends to win. I need you to get that in your head. I need you to get that in your mind. I know that you're wondering, what is this woman talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you. Relating to our introduction story, the reasons team development goes awry is because the team leader chooses team members based on what? I know you already know the answer: friendship. While friendship is great, especially in a work environment, choosing a team based on friendship is a personal preference. Furthermore, when we're developing or creating teams, you cannot lead with your preferences. Why? Because it's prejudicial thinking. And two, we can't always get things the way that we want them. This way of thinking shows inflexibility and that you can't work with people who you are not familiar with. They may use terms such as diverse personalities, diverse work environments, but it just clearly shows that you only want the people who are going to be yes people. All right. Another problem in choosing team members based on personal preferences also is based on personality. We all know that people are affected by both internal and external factors daily. For example, today they could be in a great mood and perform well, yet on tomorrow, one wrong situation or word might cause an explosion of temperaments. I know we've all been there. You've been able to speak to Sally one day and Sally's in a good mood, but the next day Sally had something bad, or maybe the supervisor or the coworker said something Sally didn't like, maybe brought something Sally didn't want to eat, and Sally has a problem. Therefore, it is better not to choose team members because they're your friends or because they have a good personality. Rather, for success, choose members because their skill set matches the objective and needs for the team. Remember, we don't have to be friends to win. Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. So, how do we ensure that that we choose team members that have the right skills and are aligned with the goals of our organization. We want a team that will accomplish set goals and achieve success. Well, the first thing that you have to do is that you have to establish purpose. On how do you establish purpose? Well, you share team mission and team goals. When choosing to create a professional team or work group, the team must be told by the person responsible for assembling the team or the chosen team leader the purpose for coming together. This should be established during the process known as the forming stage, wherein the team members are learning about one another and the group. This is important for the team or work group because members devoid of understanding the reason for formation leads to confusion, motivation issues, and ultimately low performance of the team itself. Now we got to get it together, y'all. We can't let being choosing friends who may be fickle one day and may want to come to work and do and perform. We've got to choose teams the right way because we don't have to be friends to win. Also, by sharing the team purpose and the team mission, this promotes buy-in from the members of the team. I cannot stress enough the importance of communicating the why to the team. Listen, the good book says it like this: without a vision, the people perish. Meaning that if you do not provide the why nor the reason for existence of your idea for your team, the odds are high that people will not latch on. The buy-in process will usually not get to be in the forefront with it, which is the foundation for your team. And listen, a wise man by the name of Trevor Ott says it this way: you have to tell people what you see for them. You have to convince them of what you see for them. The next thing you want to do is lining up the team with structural objectives. And it is one strategy for clarifying team purpose. For example, I pastor a small church with my husband, and we are in our 13th year of existence. Somewhere around the 7th year of ministry, we realized that the church was doing church things, yet there was no connections to the church goals. Sure, we were meeting regularly helping the community, teaching our members the word, raising the offering, but there was something missing: true commitment. Though our members were attending service, they were not connected personally. Consequently, we shared with them our mission and goal, which was to communicate Christ correctly to the church, to the community, and to the world. After sharing our mission and goals, we set up trainings, services, and organized opportunities for members to what? Connect with them. Once the members achieved comprehension of our mission and goal, they connected to it in a greater way. From our mission and goals, one member even created a motto for our church: real, relevant, and radiant. Quinn and Thacker state when workers assessed the principle to be genuine, a metamorphosis started to happen. What are you saying? Give people a genuine connection, which will help them to be more authentic. If they're feeling more authentic, then they will bring what they have. They will bring their all to whatever the mission and purpose of the organization or the team is. Number two, establish protocol. How do we do that? You've got to assign team roles. The team leader or team member must assign team roles based on the necessary skills needed for the assignment. All members must agree to their assigned roles to complete the work. On a team where time is of the essence, this must be done quickly. However, on a team where there is ample time, the leader is able to learn team members' behaviors to assign the right person fit to the role needed. We remember we are reforming a team for a new project, and the right skill mix is crucial for performance and success. While having a pleasing mentality is optimal, I would not choose an individual for personality alone. Choose them because their specific skills are the right person fit for your team. Remember, this is not a recess nor a game where the captains are choosing their friends before proven winners. You've got to have good methods of communication. Communicating effectively is one of the most paramount, if not primary, issues that can derail a team. Moreover, determining how a professional team or work group will communicate early on aids both in cutting down on confusion and unproductive chatter. You know how it is when somebody is not in agreement with what has been said or what needs to be done, then we start to get polarized and have these little bitty cliques. Y'all know what cliques are. I don't have to explain that to you. These little bitty cliques, and Sally and Johnny are believing one way, and Bob and Sarah and Mindy are believing another way. So proper communication and setting those parameters for how that will be done is very important to do that early on. And it must be established in the early stages of team development. For example, on a prior leadership team challenge for school, we understood that we are all busy with work, family, and school and other activities. So we decided that our communication would be via email and Zoom. Also, we created a shared folder on the Google platform to communicate urgent issues regarding the assignments. What else can we do? No unnecessary meetings. I can't tell you how many times I have heard people say, "What am I here for?" I can't tell you how many times I have been in a meeting and have sat there for over an hour and a half for something that I had nothing to do with. While I'm always going to be the person to learn something new, I didn't need to be in the meeting. So you're gobbling up people's time when they could be doing more creative things and more productive things that is going to lead to a greater, a higher performance standard, which is going to lead to ultimate team success. Remember, we're trying to create success here. And then KISS. Y'all know what KISS is. Keep it simple, stupid. Listen, it doesn't have to have a whole lot of bells and whistles. And a lot of times when you're sending out emails or scheduling meetings or developing an agenda, get the input from the people that you want to invite to the meeting, because all the other things can bog the true purpose of a meeting, of an email down. Find you some type of communication software or communication books of information to tell you how to write proper emails, tell you how to conduct meetings that are going to be beneficial for all. Remember, keep it simple. The next thing is conflict management. How do you do that? Negotiate problems and focus on the problem itself and not positions or opinions. Remember, let's say we're here to move a box from one side of the room to the other, and it takes 5 of us to do it. We don't need to talk about what we can't do. We need to talk about the issue or the challenge itself. We don't need your position on this. Remember, the focus is the team and what the team can do to get this box from one side of the room to the next side of the room, and how each member can be productive in getting that done. Remember that. And also, relating to that, not subjective communication, but objective. Don't get stuck on one position, they say polarization. Don't get polarized to one particular situation. Let's see it all and see how it can work objectively for the whole and not for one. And keep the main thing the main thing. You know, that's something that my husband and I decided early in our relationship, and we've been married for over 20 years now. And one of the things that we had, and this is our second marriage for both of us. So, one of the things that we came up early on was keep the main thing the main thing. Yes, you have external factors as well, but let's try to remember if we're checking with ourselves and if we're happy, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, it does not matter what everybody on the outside, on the peripherals are saying about it. So remember, keep the main thing the main thing. Here's an example. When we were building our team charter for the leadership task that we were doing at my school, we decided that to manage conflict, we would negotiate problems and rather focus on positions or opinions, we would focus on the team problem. What was our problem? Well, our problem was how to establish proper communication because things can be lost in translation. By doing this, it allowed us to use the team members' positive energy to solve the team problem instead of wasting our team's energy by trying to correct the negative situation. And to just to let you know, we did not encounter negative conflict because our determination, which went all the way back and linked us back to what our purpose and what our mission was our determination was to accomplish our task in a timely manner. The next thing is you have to decide on a decision-making process. Who's going to make the decisions? Is it going to be by a consensus? Is it going to be by a majority vote? Or is the team leader going to decide how that happens? So we've established the mission and the purpose. We've established the protocol. And the next thing we have to do is to establish trust. How do you do that? Number one is confidence. Confidence in the team builds trust among members during the forming stage of the team life cycle. In this pivotal stage, a very crucial stage, team members are finding out about one another while learning to function as a cohesive unit within the organization. Cooperation within the team is important because team members understand that every member must have input to accomplish the overall tasks and goals set before them. Listen, Korsgaard, Schweizer, and Sapienza state enduring teamwork comes from the connection team members develop for one another and leads to the team's eventual productiveness. Remember, we're trying to get to success. We're trying to get our accomplishments in our view, not in the rear view, but in our view, right in our view. And the next thing is believing that the team can achieve its goals that is established. This is done during the performance stage of the team life cycle. During the performance stage, team members learn to effectively align their work, settle issues, and perform how collectively with an elevated degree of confidence. Cooperation, let's get back to that again. It's important because every member must have input to accomplish the overall task and goals set before them. I just wanted to say that again so that we wouldn't forget. The next thing, we have to establish performance standards. And I know a lot of people don't like to deal with performance standards. We get a little leery or weary of evaluations. I just recently had my evaluations, and um, performance evaluations really are how you go into, remember, we're trying to be objective and not subjective. So if you redirect how an evaluation comes to you, you're going to get where you can improve in some areas. So what are performance standards? They're also known as team metrics. Team performance must be tracked to ensure the team tasks are aligned with the team objectives and goals. Team metrics are also important because if not tracked, and here we go, if they are not tracked, unknown issues can derail a project later on. And I don't know about you, I really don't like to start over, but I will start over. I don't really like to adjust them because as a whole, usually we don't like change. We have to usually accept change, but as a whole, humans don't like change, but we need those team metrics so we can see what issues or problems may lie within the team, within the project, to see if we need to adjust and move and go in a different direction. And the earlier that you do that, the better. The team as a whole can see whether or not they are meeting performance standards. Now, remember, these standards are based with the organizational goals or with the team goals. So if you're always constantly doing those checks and evaluations, you'll be right on track. Listen, what can happen? Issues can be corrected, and the team can continue to build high performance standards. In a nutshell, team effectiveness can be measured and should be measured. Well, how should they be measured? Usually, evaluations are done by our human resources, but this can be done by the team leader, or watch this, the team itself. How can this be done? It can be done with spreadsheets, or it can be done by accomplishment of individual tasks or goals, internal reporting, or external reporting. External reporting is, let's say, if you're working on something for customers or consumers, you can do questions or surveys and ask them, well, how are we doing? You've seen that. Or would you give us a review of our product? Or did you like so-and-so? Would you mind giving us a 4-star review? There are many ways to accomplish external reporting, and regular team meetings to check in with one another. You can decide to do this on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis or monthly basis, but how you do that is up to you. And then finally, celebrate small successes. I can't tell you enough that, because I'm in school right now, I'm almost finishing and I'm so excited about that. But it's the small successes. And what are the small successes for me related to school? Finishing a paper, or getting, through an objective assessment where there's multiple choices. And we know how multiple choices are, multiple choice question tests are. They can be really brutal. But when I finish that, I get so happy and I literally laugh, or I may get up and dance. But you have to do something to be able to celebrate the small successes. Far too often we want to, think about the end in mind, and you do. You have to think about the result that you are trying to achieve, but not celebrating your successes can also cause you to be bogged down into the task itself, or the situation that you're trying to solve. And when you do something good, or if one of your teammates comes up with something that was so hard and that people couldn't get it, but they took the time, you need to celebrate that. How do you do that? Well, you could do it with gift cards, or you could do it with an email saying thank you, or you could put up on the board how Charlie solved the problem that we have been working on for 2 to 3 months, or whatever. But remember to celebrate the small successes. Remember, we don't have to be friends to win. So just to recap for you today. Number one, when you're choosing your team, you don't choose them based upon friendship, but you choose them based on the skill sets necessary that's going to increase the probability of you winning. And how do we do that? We establish the purpose. Number two, we establish protocol. How is it going to be done? Number three, we are going to establish trust. Number four, we're going to establish performance standards. How are we going to evaluate what's happening with our team? Are we on track? Or is this train about to run off the rails? Establish protocol standards. And number five, celebrate the small successes. I am Donita Flippin, and I hope you have enjoyed this time together at the Success Fest 2021. And remember, we do not have to be friends to win. Hashtag bag of friendship.
Needs and life coaching needs. We believe that true transformation starts from the inside and then shines through to the outside. So at Femi's Place, we transform you physically from your crown through giving you quality braid styles, and we also speak to your inner man through motivation,